So, Ice Cube recently told everyone in the club that Diddy is going to go after everyone after the feds start to crack down on him.
Yo, what's cracking? You know what it is. It's your homeboy Ice Cube. And some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club.
The person who is most in danger is J-Lo. Jennifer Lopez recently opened up about her troubled relationship with Diddy, saying that he was the first guy to cheat on her. People are interested in their romance, which went from 1999 to 2001 and had its ups and downs. Still, Lopez made it clear that Diddy wasn't the ex who treated her badly. Sean Diddy Combs' houses in Los Angeles and Miami were searched by the Department of Homeland Security on Monday. This action was taken because Diddy has been accused of sexual abuse several times in the past few months. People have been interested in Diddy's relationship with Jennifer Lopez for a long time. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, their partnership made headlines. Even Kanye West said something a few years ago that most people didn't pay much attention to. I can tell you right now that they shouldn't have.
Kidnap my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address to my child. None of these that want to say something
Travis
now.
Gave you the address, though?
Travis gave me the address.
Right.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these all you fake hard you.
Wait,
hold on.
Okay.
All you fake niggas, you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't give because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all shut the up about me. Now let me say it calm. You shut the up about, you shut the up about Michael.
Right.
Sean Diddy Combs was seen at a Miami airport after 2 of his homes were searched by Homeland Security. It was said that these raids were part of a federal probe into trafficking. The TMZ video shows Diddy walking back and forth in front of a customs office at Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport on Monday, March 25th, around 3 p.m. PT. This sighting took place not long after the raids. According to reports, Diddy and his group were stopped at Miami International Airport. They may have been getting on a private jet when Homeland Security stepped in. Also, some very interesting people have been caught.
Amazon delivered, a woman visited, a private guard guarded. A more typical day at Sean Diddy Combs' Star Island properties. Done for the moment, the federal agents who served one of 2 search warrants here, part of a criminal investigation by the Southern District of New York. Agents took electronics, including a silver MacBook Air. The raid simultaneously at his homes on Star Island and in LA, as Combs himself was preparing to fly out of Opa-locka Airport, but not on his private plane, which had already departed for Antigua. It was at Opa-locka that one of his entourage, Brendan Paul, was arrested for having cocaine in his bags. Paul is also named as a drug mule and payer of sex workers in this scathing, explicit 73-page lawsuit against Combs, his son, and a roster of associates by music producer Rodney Jones. Last month in it, Jones unspooled allegations with photos of abuse, sex trafficking, drugs, violence, threats, a quote enterprise, establishing one of the locations for it as Combs' Star Island address.
When things got worse, Gene Deal said this.
How you feel about the news that broke that Diddy, he gave up the rest of his shares in revolt?
Listen, he has to do that because no company wants to do business with somebody who is being accused, have allegations against them for sexual misconduct and deviant behavior. Nobody wants to do business with that. All the shareholders, it ain't nothing that he's giving up. They like, yo, listen, give me that. They said, they did a Diddy. Take that. You understand? They're gonna take that from him. The shareholders is gonna say, yo, listen to me. We all gonna pull out. No Diddy. But we all gonna pull out our shares and everything if you don't give up what you have in the company.
Did you see that video that went viral of Diddy pacing around the airport after his houses got raided?
I seen that video. And I seen that look in his face before. I seen that look in his face. You understand? when he was with the same gang, and Mike Owens, AKA Mike Cock, everybody could tell him, D. Ferg did a collection for him because he didn't know how he was gonna pay his rent, and he didn't know how he was going to pay his rent, child support, and his car note, because he had one of those drop-top Cabarets Volkswagens. So Mike gave $5,000. I wasn't giving him nothing. I'm just telling you right now. D was just collecting money for niggas. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, we gotta make sure, because he wanted to kill himself. He gonna kill himself. Diddy had that pace, and he had that look in his face that he know something may be wrong, or they may have something on him. Because they took things out of there. We may not have seen what they took, but they had bags and boxes of stuff that they took out of there. So he knows, he's getting a play-by-play of what's going on. And even back then, doing that City College, when he was fired from Uptown Records, he was making statements about doing himself. He had that same look in his face.
Yeah, he looked worried, man. I'm not gonna lie, for a split second, man, I felt bad for him. For a split second, but yeah.
Like, everybody, I get all kind of hate mail, IGs, talking about that I'm trying to take a black man down. No. I went through every step you supposed to go through when you got a problem, you got a situation, you got an issue with a man. You understand? I get in contact with him. Went to mutual friends. Let's sit down and talk. What you did to Wolf's mother wasn't right, bro. You don't talk to her like that. If Wolf was alive, he'd take your head off.
It was also big back then for Diddy's record label. Later, though, Mark Curry told the truth about what really went on at Bad Boy Records.
Did I see these kind of things in his actions when I knew him or when I was around him? Did I see him have those bursts of violence? Just not on, you'd be like, he did it. If you've seen that, it was another video. He won some, he just over cocky. That's why he got fired from Uptown. He's over, what do you call someone who's overly confident? To the point to where it's called arrogance, right? He's arrogant. Nothing wrong with being arrogant, but when you're arrogant and you do it in spiteful ways, then, so when I seen that and I reflect and I'm like, man, I do remember seeing him be being physically violent towards females. I seen him be physically violent towards producers, other record execs, even artists. Always those kind of stories, man. But those stories are seen from the inside out, not from the outside in. So it's just like, sometimes you can tell, as a man, you'd be like, look, we're gonna need a fair one, or we a one-on-one, a fair one-on-one, and we fight as men so we can come to a resolution, right? So sometimes we fight as men, but you see that sometimes they fight, they keep fighting. They fighting with women, they fighting with people, they fighting with love, they fighting with they self. I seen him fight with his own self. I seen him be violent to his own self, forget anybody else. I seen him beat his own self up.
Wow, what you mean by that?
Meaning you putting yourself through so much stuff, you beating your own self up, you bringing yourself down with whatever kind of things you need at that time, whether it be alcohol, whether it be pills, or whatever it is that you need. Sometimes people get addicted to pills. And when they get addicted to pills, that it alters the ego. All of that kind of stuff, devices. I seen it all, man.
And you said that you seen him get physical with his own artists?
Meaning like producers, mainly the hitmen. Mainly the producers. And what I mean by physical, it'd be like, sometimes it might be a physical fight between him and someone else. And you say, you know, wow, you're fighting even with your own artists. You're fighting when you go home. You're fighting with people in your office. You're fighting with your girlfriend. You're fighting with me. You just want to fight everybody, don't you? And that's what, when you think of that name, that might be what he defines bad boy. It's really about that energy that he feels like what makes him. That's what makes him.
Mark Curry, the author of the 2009 book Dancing with the Devil, which was about Sean Diddy Combs, shared some of his bad boy memories with the YouTube program Art of Dialogue. Years ago, his book, which said that Combs was an unfair businessman, didn't get much attention. It's now open season on Combs after 3 cases were filed against him for assault and other wrongdoings. Curry is now making claims that he left off the page. He says on YouTube videos that Combs broke his ex-girlfriend Kim Porter's nose in a fight on a boat. Besides that, he said Combs hit a producer with a chair after listening to them talk to Porter on a phone line that he reportedly tapped. Curry also said that he had seen Diddy add drugs to the drinks of women in the club. He seemed to imply that he kept partying with him after seeing the drug charge for the first time, which makes the drug charge shocking. Curry is one of the first people who worked for Diddy after the cases to talk about their time with him. Along with Gene Deal and Roger Bonds, their memories will hurt Diddy's already bad image even more, but they also reveal disturbing information about themselves, which is the same thing as admitting you stayed after the first alleged wrongdoing. Earlier this month, Combs was sued 3 times, each time for sexual violence and abuse. Cassie, his longtime lover and bad boy signee, said that Combs raped and beat her and made her have sex with male workers. Another woman, whose name was in the case only given as Jane Doe, said that Combs drugged and raped her in 1991 and then filmed the attack and showed it to friends later. During the 1990s, Combs and R&B singer Aaron Hall are said to have raped the woman and her friend alternately. Combs then struck the woman at her home a few days later. Cassie has sued Combs and his companies, including Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment, Epic Records, and Combs Enterprises. A deal was made after 24 hours. According to a statement from Diddy's lawyer, Mr. Combs' decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims. But since then, Diddy has taken a short break from being head of his entertainment platform, Revolt. You have to wonder when people think he can go back safely. He is also said to not be a good person to market alcohol, even if his case against Diageo is over. Combs' past is hurting his business. All of the King's men are now talking, which is a good sign.
I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas. And then the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And I'll Be Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest fucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning, gone. Just him. I guess Al disappointed you. You know, I speak for a reason. When you see this bullshit ass motherfucking game with people that you love, that you like, you know, there's too many coincidences.
Too many. You
Honeycomb.
oh. Stamp it.
We gonna get you and your little dog too.
Diddy finds himself in even more hot water after being accused of assault. Diddy's involvement with the Hate Me Now music video starring Nas caused a lot of debate in the rapper's career. There was a part of the video where Diddy and Nas were shown being crucified, which made both watchers and critics very angry. Diddy was offended by the image and quickly asked that the offensive scene be taken down. Even though he tried to stop it, the unedited version of the music video got out, which made things worse. Because of the leaked video, Diddy and Nas sued the CEO of Interscope Records for breach of trust and lack of artistic ethics. Even though they fought hard, the legal fight ended with Diddy pleading guilty to a lesser crime connected to the incident. Because of how bad the situation was, he was told to go to anger management therapy for 1 day as part of the solution. This controversy brought to light Diddy's past of violence, which went beyond the Hate Me Now incident. A famous fight broke out in a New York bar, turning a heated argument into a shooting that hurt 3 people. Diddy and Jennifer Lopez, who was dating Diddy at the time, were both arrested and charged with assault and having guns on their person in connection with the event. Lopez's charges were eventually dropped, but Diddy went to trial and said that the justice system was biased against black guys because of their race. Diddy was finally found not guilty of the charges against him, even though it was hard for him. But Shine, one of Diddy's proteges, got 9 years in prison for his part in the fight, which made things even worse for his image and relationships with his friends. As time went on, more people spoke out in support of Diddy's charges, which made people even more interested in what he did and who he is. The Hate Me Now scandal and what happened after it were turning points in Diddy's career. They showed how complicated fame, power, and responsibility can be in the entertainment business.
According to this woman, she says that she's been telling this story consistently for years, but there's been a cover-up. And if we've learned anything from the Cassie story and the recent allegations and other lawsuits, it seems as if Diddy has a pattern of threatening people and cover-up. And she literally says that he had to end up paying her for that incident. Again, as always, these are allegations. I just want to play what she says for you, because a lot of people are saying she's been saying the same story for a very long time. A lot of this has been covered up, and this is why the public doesn't know about her story.
Hey, how you doing? So, here today about this latest lawsuit with the P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Sean Puffy Combs, whatever you want to call him, lawsuit that has come out involving the producer Lil Rod. So basically his last 2 lawsuits, or last 2 major lawsuits, the one with Cassie, she made mention that Puffy made her carry his guns into nightclubs and wherever they went. And he threatened her to make her feel like she had to do so. And while there were lots of things of importance, that stood out to me, and I'm gonna tell you why. In this lawsuit with the producer Lil Rod, they were both SA'd by him and threatened and physically harmed. But in this lawsuit, he appears to be a very young producer to me. But he said something very specific. As a means of threatening him, Puffy said, "That's why I shot up the club in New York back in 1999 and let Shine take the fall for it." Let me tell you why that's of utmost importance to me. Because I am the woman who he shot in the face in that 1999, December 27th, 1999, Club New York shooting. The bullet, I got shot in my face with a 9mm hollow point bullet called a cop killer. I literally have told everyone and never changed what I said. I watched him. I got pow-powed in the face. I watched him fire the gun. I've said it all this time. Even the surgeon who did my surgery to take out part of the bullet fragments that was aspirating into my lungs and try to remove as many bullet fragments as possible, testified in the criminal trial that while they were putting me under, I was screaming, Puffy, pew pew me in the face. He testified in the criminal trial. It is in the record. They all knew he did it. Everybody knew he did it. But he paid off the club bouncer named Sharice and all these other people and the club owners with their video to hide the video. That's his MO. I told everybody that. This man almost took my life, has traumatized my life, has caused undue harm, irreparable damage to my life, lied his behind off. I've had all these youngins on the internet harassing me, swearing that I'm making it up that he did it. And look what he did to Little Rod. He threatened him. Oh, you don't think I bust my gun? I shot up the club in Club New York and let Shine take the fall for it. I shot them people. Well. It only took 24 whole years for it to come out. You see this tattoo? This commemorates me getting shot. It took 24 years for him to come out and say it. I've been saying it all along, but y'all pick and choose who y'all want to believe. Oh, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Not only did he pew me in the face, he also set off a course of harassment against me for the past 24 years. When I tell you the things I went through, there was a time in 2017 and 2018 where I got 7 flats on my BMW. 7, the same tire, in a 2-year span. 7. You see this RICO charge that's about to come? This conspiring and pew-pewing up the club and ruining or attempting to ruin my life? As God as my witness, I will not stop until you suffer every single iota of punishment, until I have every second of recompense that you took from me. For every tear that I had to cry or my children had to cry, I am going to get $1 million back from you. I will not stop until you pay the price for what you did to my life. And for all you people out there on the internet and in cyberspace and in the far reaches of my life or the perimeters or wherever, who always like, oh, she just saying that to get some. Hell, what you got to say now? What you got to say now? I had some youngins on the internet that ain't even old enough, that weren't even alive when it happened, arguing me down, cussing me out, calling me everything but a child of God. Go check Instagram, it's there. Harassing my life. Harassing me. Oh, you lying, he ain't do that to you. You just want clout. You just chasing clout. What is that to chase clout about? How is that clout chase worthy? It doesn't even make sense. Well, I guess it will make sense in this new generation, but you better believe I will have my say.
Additionally, Gene Deal has stated that there would be additional cases coming out against Diddy in the near future. Gene Deal, who used to be the founder of Bad Boys Records Bodyguard, told The Art of Dialogue that he was willing to take the stand. He started by saying that he thinks Cassie will witness if she is called. This is because she sued Diddy in a disturbing case that led to many sexual assault, trafficking, and abuse claims against him. Gene Deal said some shocking things about Usher's friendship with the hip-hop mogul in a recent interview with The Art of Dialogue. Deal said that Usher was reportedly groomed by Diddy, which caused a stir in the music business. Deal was confused by Usher's apparent praise for Diddy during an interview on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast, since the two have a rough past. I know, and people know that was around that time that Puff Daddy and Usher did have a situation, Deal said. That's what sent Usher to the hospital. Now I'll let Usher tell you about that. That story will be told by Usher, but you are so rude to say that you will let a man who trained you off the hook. Dude, you know I know. In his teens, Usher stayed with the hip-hop mogul Diddy for a year, which is how they became friends. Deal thought that Usher should talk about Diddy's supposed wrongdoing in public. As an example of his point, Deal talked about a bad thing he supposedly saw happen. Deal said, "Remember Usher? We were at the Swiss Hotel. This room had Kim Porter in it, and one of Keith Sweat's babysitters was in the big room outside the master bedroom. He put on his robe and went outside. When he wore his robe outside, she f***ed him right there. He didn't look at me. He kept going. She effed him. You rang the doorbell. I opened the door for you when I got there. Puff went into the room. You walked into the room and gave that girl a hard kiss on the lips. Now I'm telling you that because standing up for someone you know, and a lot of other people know, didn't do you any good when you were at Diddy's camp." Deal's statements also cast a shadow over Usher's relationship with Diddy and make people wonder how power and influence work in the music business. Gene Deal also said that he would be happy to testify if the police want to ask him about Diddy's relationship with Kim Porter. Porter died in 2018 and had 3 children with Diddy, twins Jesse and Delilah, and a son named Christian Combs. Diddy was also like a dad to Kim Porter's son Quincy Brown, who she had with Al B. Sure. He stated that, "Even if they call me about Kim's abuse, hey Gene, did you see him beat Kim?" I will answer, "Not in that case. Have I seen him hit Kim hard and use the pillow? He likes to pretend to fight and hurt girls while he does it. Did I see him do that? I have seen him do that, yes." Later he said, "I have no problem going to court, doing my research, and testifying about things I've already talked about online. As I said, he abused Kim so badly that she had to cut his wrist to get him to stop. I will now describe what I saw at the hospital. I don't have any trouble. I don't care what people say or think."
We started it off that during his turmoil at the city college, he slapped his mother. If anybody put their hands on their mother, they are capable of doing anything. Do you understand that, bro? He's capable of doing anything to a female. I don't believe Cassie lied. I don't believe Tiffany Red lied. Dude, whole life has changed, bruh. You know, the money, the drugs, the alcohol, all the things made him to a different person. The stuff that he learned, the stuff that he was doing. These girls is not lying about what they witnessed. The women who told me, you know, how he treated them, what he did to them. The girl Gina, who we heard all say he kicked her, he pushed her, mushed her in her face, all that. These women is not lying about seeing abuse. These women are not lying about being abused. It's his behavior. It wasn't corrected way back when. Had he got help with that way back when, then maybe they wouldn't have a leg to stand on. It's a lot of women coming out, bruh. It's a lot of people coming out. They got 3 cases already filed in court already, I think.
Oh, wow. I didn't know about that. So they got 3 cases that's on the way.
They got 3 cases on the way. Yo, I believe what those girls are saying. It's too many women that's coming out and they saying the same thing, and they wasn't around each other. Gina said what she had to say. Cassie said what she had to say. Tiffany Red said what she saw. These other people that didn't file cases, which is similar. It's gonna be crazy, bro.
A government investigation and raids on Sean Diddy Combs' homes have made people wonder about the rapper and hip-hop music mogul. Homeland Security Investigations, HSI agents, searched Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami on Monday, but it's not clear what they were looking for, or if Combs, who hasn't been caught yet, will be charged in the future. Aaron Dyer, Combs' lawyer, has said that his client is innocent and spoke out against what he sees as a witch hunt based on false claims. Several civil lawsuits have been made against the founder of Bad Boy Records in the past few few months, accusing him of rape or sexual assault against several people over the past few decades. This is happening at the same time as the raids. Combs has strongly rejected all of these claims. The Los Angeles Times and the Associated Press both say that these searches may have something to do with a sex trafficking case that is still going on in New York. Rebecca Lonergan, a professor at the USC Gould School of Law and associate director of the Legal Writing and Advocacy Program, says that the fact that Homeland Security Investigations was involved in the raids and Combs has recently been sued in civil cases makes it more likely that prosecutors are looking into sex trafficking, which could lead to criminal charges. Diddy rose to fame in the music industry, particularly amid the fierce competition between the West and East Coasts in 1990s hip-hop and gangster rap. This period was significant in the genre's history. The conflict between Suge Knight, the founder of Death Row Records, and rapper Tupac Shakur tragically resulted in the murders of both Biggie and Tupac. Although Diddy was never personally involved in these tragedies, stories and conspiracy theories abound concerning the circumstances behind their deaths. Despite the controversy, Diddy's career continued to grow. Jaguar Wright provided a unique viewpoint on Diddy's successes. The Sun says that the scary 2.5-hour-minute secret police interview happened with the LAPD in 2008. During that interview, Keefe D said that Diddy offered him $1 million to kill Tupac. As authorities in Las Vegas build their case against Keefe D, the audio recording has come to light and is now a key piece of evidence in the murder trial. Keefe D, who is 60 years old, can be heard laughing and joking with police about Diddy's claimed role in killing Tupac in Las Vegas in September 1996. The robber says, without solid proof, that Diddy asked him to watch as Tupac was shot and killed in the mid-1990s. Keefe says that Diddy wanted to get rid of the competition, naming rival record label boss Suge Knight and Tupac as specific targets during the East Coast versus West Coast rap wars. The former Compton Crip says Diddy came up with the idea for the $1 million prize, even though Diddy has always denied having anything to do with Tupac's death. Prosecutors sent the audio file to draw attention to Keefe D's statements that he played a major role in the murder. It is important to note, though, that many parts of the tape contain claims about Diddy that can't be proven. In the recording, Keefe D brags about how he got to know Diddy through gangster and common friend Eric Zip Martin. He talks about how Puffy talked about how much he disliked Knight and reportedly said that he wanted to kill both Knight and Tupac. The gang leader says the order to kill was given in secret, and Diddy and him talked more than once about killing both of them. Tupac was shot while driving with Knight to a club on the evening of September 7th, 1996. Even though Keefe D said he was involved, Diddy's supposed link to the murder has not been proven. The thief says he never got paid for the shooting, which makes people wonder if what he's saying is true. The submitted tape gives a scary glimpse into Keefe D's smug attitude as he talks about planning the murder of the rap star. While the trial is going on, the shocking information in the audio file could change the story of how Tupac Shakur died, revealing alleged ties in the hip-hop business that have been kept secret for decades. The Diddy situation is further complicated by Ice Cube's statement about his ambitions. Ice Cube's statement hints that Diddy, under federal pressure, will take dramatic measures to protect himself and his assets. Ice Cube indicates that Diddy will go after everyone in the club, implying that he is concerned about his own legal issues and willing to take serious action against anyone who may be involved or know about potentially incriminating behavior. This might include his friends, business associates, or anybody else who could harm his reputation or legal status. Ice Cube's admission adds urgency and intensity to Diddy's story, implying that he may be willing to take drastic steps to defend himself from escalating legal charges.